few days ago, I sat down with Draymond Green and talked to him about home court advantage in the Western Conference this season. He felt like it was more important for the Houston Rockets to get home court advantage than he felt it was for them. He didn't mean it disrespectfully, but he said because they had not yet accomplished it, and he felt like they could win wherever they were, whether it was home or away. How important do you see home court advantage in the Western Conference this season?
I think Draymond hit it right on the head because they've proven to go on the road in series and win on the road. Houston with Chris Paul, they're still trying to figure out the big picture. Game-wise, Sekou, throughout the season, I think they've proven to all of us that both he and James Harden are true basketball players when they're on the floor at the same time. Now, when the playoffs start, things get to the next level, things will change a little bit, and I think Draymond hit it right on the head. Until Houston has proven they can win the Game 7 or Game 6, whatever, to close out on the road, it's going to be interesting to say.
I think Draymond is being very philanthropic with home court advantage because we know the Warriors want home court advantage. They can talk about what they've done, what somebody else hasn't done. This is a team that's motivated to be the best in every facet of the game. They're not going to give home court advantage away to anyone. And if anything, this is Draymond poking the bear a little bit and playing games with the Rockets.
So as we take a look at the Warriors' next 10 games, half are at home, half are on the road, including a 5-game East Coast road trip in January. That includes their finals foe, the Cleveland Cavaliers, on MLK Day. On TNT, there's the shameless plug. But how do you see them being able to take advantage of this schedule in January when they were at Oracle Arena for a long stand leading into the new year?
I expect them to do what they always do. I mean, they hit the gym in every city as the favorite, playing with a target on their back, understanding that they have to show up and perform and give the ticket buying public what they pay for. They come to see the best show in basketball when they see the Warriors. Whether Steph is in the lineup, whether Kevin Durant's in the lineup, anybody else, they've answered the bell this year. The only time that you watch them when they don't look like they're themselves is maybe for a stretch early in the game when they get down. The opening night, Houston jumped on them a little bit. Beyond that, to me, this is a team that you give them the credit that a team that's gone out and put up the number of wins they have in each of the past 4 seasons, that is work that only special teams do. I expect them to take advantage of it the same way they have nonstop for recent memory. This is the best team in basketball, and they go out and play like it basically every night.
Only time, Sekou, we've seen them, not to your point, is Houston or other teams have shot the ball extremely well that night. And every so often they have a few laws where they turn the ball over too much.
Yes.
Outside of that, they're ready to play every night, and they play good basketball.
And no Kevin Durant in this one either. He did have a right calf strain in the first game that he missed. He was reevaluated in L.A., ruled out of that one, will be reevaluated again soon. But as of Saturday, the Clippers were sitting 2 games outside the Western Conference playoff picture at 9. Do you guys see the teams in those final 4 or 5 playoff spots in the West being vulnerable enough for the Clippers to take one of these playoff spots?
Blake, we're praying for you. Hopefully this concussion doesn't last long. But let's face it, if Blake's not 100%, there's no way they can get to that spot. And Lou Williams has done an excellent job doing his thing. Teodosic has been back and forth with his injuries. I just think if Blake's not 100%, Sekou, I don't know how they can fight for that spot.
No, I agree with you. And it's too much, to fight against down there.
I'm sorry, and Gallinari, too. I forgot about Gallinari.
Exactly.
Sorry.
It's just too many teams down there battling for that space. If you want that real estate in the standings down there at the bottom of the Western Conference, at 8, 9, maybe as high as 7, you got to battle with other teams who are just as motivated, who have everything in front of them as well. I look at New Orleans as the team that has to stake out some position down there. And if you're going to fight for that spot, New Orleans is a team to me, more so than the Clippers, that has to hold on to one of those top 8 spots. They have to make the playoff field.
So let's go back to the trade deadline then. What has to happen in Clipperland?
Well, Lou Williams.
Anything this season?
I'm just going to say Lou Williams becomes arguably one of the most valuable commodities in the league at the trade deadline because of the way he scored the basketball. But if you're Doc Rivers and you are serious about getting this spot, you lose Lou Williams with the way Blake, Teodosic, Gallinari, and some of these guys have been in and out of your rotation. You're giving that spot away.
Right.
To me, Lou Williams almost has to stay in a Clipper uniform if you're the Clippers and you want to battle for one of those playoffs.
You mentioned Doc Rivers. Will Jerry West do it any differently?
Oh.
Now you're starting, Steph.
Ooh, shake it up, shake it up, shake it. It's going to be interesting because I think as Jerry West sits there with Doc and what we call the war room having that conversation, they're saying to themselves, is there a move that we can make that possibly hold on to the 8 or 7, and do we beat the Golden State Warriors or the Houston Rockets? No, that's not happening. So I don't see no major moves being made with the Clippers.
Well, the NBA is on NBA TV on Sunday. You guys can watch the 3rd-seeded Spurs take on the 7th-seeded Trailblazers at the Moda Center at 9 Eastern. Of course, those standings are as of Saturday. Those games are Sunday. Your coverage starts with the Auto Trader pregame show at 8 Eastern.